My name is David Kingsbury, and I am General Counsel for Lions Clubs International and Manager of the Legal Division. Today, I will be providing information that I hope will help you, your clubs, districts, and multiple districts practice good governance. In order to know what good governance looks like, we have to know what good governance means. Merriam-Webster defines governance as the act or process of governing or overseeing the control and direction of something. In its simplest terms, governance is the way a group of people do things. In the case of Lions, we rely on certain governing documents to provide the necessary structure to further the purposes established by the association more than 100 years ago. We establish these practices through governing documents. When we refer to the governing documents of Lions Clubs International, we are talking about the Board Policy Manual and International Constitution and Bylaws, with additional guidance provided by Robert's Rules of Order, which is a well-established text on parliamentary procedures. Additionally, Lions Clubs, districts, and multiple districts each have their own additional governing documents in their respective constitutions and bylaws. The Board Policy Manual provides information on all operational aspects of Lions Clubs International, including but not limited to membership, service programs, executive officers and administrative officers, and obligations of the Board of Directors and their respective committees that guide the association. This is also where the Standard Club District and Multiple District Constitution and Bylaws can be found. The Board Policy Manual is adopted and amended by the International Board of Directors and may be updated up to 3 times each year at the conclusion of the International Board of Directors meeting. All chartered Lions Clubs, districts, and multiple districts, as well as individual members, are required to comply with the provisions set forth in the International Constitution and Bylaws. This document is only amended by a vote of the delegates during an international convention. The standard form Constitution and Bylaws automatically apply to Lions Clubs, districts, and multiple districts, and may be amended by the respective club, district, or multiple district, provided that amendments are not inconsistent with the International Constitution and Bylaws and Board Policy Manual. Most amendments made in accordance with this provision, as well as the appropriate amending procedure outlined in the respective documents, will likely be permissible. Although all Lions Clubs, districts, and multiple districts are autonomous, their constitutions and bylaws must follow the documents that are superior. Specifically, the club, district, and multiple district constitutions and bylaws operate in conjunction with the International Constitution and Bylaws and Board Policy Manual. Therefore, the club, district, or multiple district constitution and bylaws must not be inconsistent with the International Constitution and Bylaws or Board Policy Manual. As you can see, the International Constitution and Bylaws is the main governing document of all Lions Clubs, districts, and multiple districts. Because the multiple district, sub-district, and club constitutions and bylaws all fall under the International Constitution and Bylaws, these documents cannot be inconsistent with the superior document. This is called the supremacy of documents and must be followed by all Lions Clubs, districts, and multiple districts. All Lions Clubs are autonomous, meaning that each Lions Club is an independent legal entity. By becoming a chartered Lions Club, a new club is automatically governed by the Standard Club Constitution and Bylaws and any other governing documents, including the International Constitution and Bylaws. While we recommend minimal changes to ensure consistency across the governing documents of a Lions Club, each Lions Club has a great deal of flexibility to amend the provisions of its own constitution and bylaws to help support the needs of the club, and can establish the club's own membership dues, meeting format, officers, and election procedures, among other matters. However, a Lions Club cannot amend its constitution and bylaws in a manner that absolves itself of the obligation to collect international dues and district dues, submit reports to LCI, comply with the international constitution and bylaws, or commit to resolve complaints outside of the dispute resolution procedures available in the board policy manual, as these obligations are established in the international constitution and bylaws. The standard district constitution and bylaws automatically governs all districts. No action is needed to adopt the standard form, and although some provisions may be amended to support the needs of each district's unique challenges, the standard district constitution and bylaws contains mandatory provisions that cannot be amended by a district, such as the qualifications for the office of second vice district governor, or the club delegate formula used to determine the total delegates of a club for a district convention. These mandatory provisions are based on requirements in the International Constitution and Bylaws and Board Policy Manual, and ensure the district does not make amendments that would be inconsistent with the Board Policy Manual or International Constitution and Bylaws that could be challenged under the dispute resolution procedures. The standard multiple district constitution and bylaws provides a governing structure for the multiple district and its officers, including the council chairperson and council of governors. It is important to note that a multiple district cannot amend its constitution and bylaws in a manner that would invalidate or supersede the mandatory provisions in the standard district constitution and bylaws. Now that we have touched on the governing documents of a Lions Club and district, it may not come as a surprise that these documents are often subject to interpretation, and those interpretations may vary. So how do we handle disputes that might arise between members of a club, or disputes that arise against district or multiple district officers? Lions Clubs International has approximately 11,000 clubs and 350,000 members in Assami alone, each with their own goals and expectations, which may not always align with the goals and expectations of those around them. Conflicts are normal and sometimes even healthy for an organization because they can highlight a need for reflection and improvement. There are a variety of reasons why a conflict can occur, and if you hope to resolve the conflict, it is helpful to understand why it exists. People should feel free to respectfully express differences of opinion and constructively address and resolve them. However, there will be times when a complaint cannot be resolved without some formal dispute resolution process. While most conflicts can and should be resolved informally, some are complex and difficult and require additional procedures in order to ensure all involved find a resolution. The purpose of the dispute resolution procedure is to provide a mechanism for resolving disputes within the Lions organization, without the need for formal evidentiary hearings or filing formal suits within a court of law, which can cause problems with the court of law locally, as well as give a bad impression of Lions. To achieve the goal of resolving these complaints, the International Board of Directors have adopted the rules of procedure for hearing complaints, disputes, or claims arising from the International Constitution and Bylaws, International Board Policy, or matters arising at the club, district, or multiple district level. It is an obligation of membership to pursue all complaints, disputes, or claims in accordance with these procedures. Specifically, the club dispute resolution procedure, district dispute resolution procedure, and the multiple district dispute resolution procedure are the acceptable dispute resolution procedures to resolve Lions issues at the club, district, and multiple district levels, respectively. Although it is not uncommon for Lions to have their own local dispute resolution procedures, decisions made outside of the formal dispute resolution procedures may not be enforceable. Moreover, as a complaint must be filed under the formal dispute resolution procedures within 30 days of the event giving rise to the complaint, we strongly encourage all Lions to resolve internal disputes under the formal dispute resolution procedures provided for in board policy. It is important to note that the International Board of Directors has determined that engaging in litigation to resolve internal Lions matters is considered conduct unbecoming a Lion and may result in the loss of membership or the loss of a club's charter if the Lions Club is involved in or supporting litigation. Therefore, all disputes that arise and cannot otherwise be resolved amicably must be resolved under the appropriate dispute resolution procedure. As you can see, 2 additional dispute resolution procedures are indicated. The constitutional complaints procedure is followed when allegations of violations of board policy or the international constitution and bylaws arise, and the international officer and vice district governor election complaints procedure must be followed when a dispute arises regarding international officer elections at a district or multiple district convention. Disputes under either of these procedures are reviewed and decided by the International Board of Directors and will not be discussed in detail today, but we want to be sure you are aware of them. Disputes among members in a Lions Club are by far the most common types of disputes arising. Generally, these disputes are resolved informally, but sometimes they require a formal procedure to reach a resolution. A complaint under the club dispute resolution procedure can be filed by any current or former member of a Lions Club against any other member or officer of the same club. A filing fee and notification of the complaint must be provided to the respondent and to the district governor, who is responsible for assigning a neutral conciliator to meet with the parties and seek a resolution in the dispute. If a resolution cannot be made, the conciliator must issue a final and binding decision, which the member and the Lions Club are required to comply with, provided the decision is not inconsistent with LCI's governing documents. District disputes must be filed by a Lions Club and can be filed against any individual on the district cabinet or against the cabinet as a whole if a breach of the district's constitution and bylaws or other procedures and policies have been alleged. It is important to note that a complaint under the district dispute resolution procedure cannot be filed by an individual. It must be filed by a Lions Club. In a district dispute, the complainants and respondents each name one conciliator. The 2 named conciliators must agree on a third neutral conciliator chairperson to oversee the review of the complaint and to determine if an amicable resolution can be reached. If one cannot be reached, the obligation of the conciliators is to issue a final and binding decision on the matter at hand. It is important to note, not all 3 conciliators must agree on the same outcome. However, a decision must be reached in order to enforce such a final and binding decision. So we encourage all dissenting opinions to be included, even if there is disagreement among the 3 conciliators. Like district disputes, a complaint under the multiple district dispute resolution procedure must be filed by a Lions Club and can be filed against any individual on the Council of Governors or against the council as a whole if a breach of the multiple district's constitution and bylaws or policies and procedures is alleged. In a multiple district dispute, the complainant and respondent each name one conciliator. The 2 named conciliators must agree on a third neutral conciliator chairperson to oversee the review of the complainant. And if an amicable resolution cannot be reached, to issue a final and binding decision on the matter at hand. As with all district disputes, not all 3 conciliators must agree on the outcome. However, a majority decision must be reached in order to enforce such a final and binding decision. Here's a nice visual of the key differences among the dispute resolution procedures. As you can see, the district governor only has an active role in the club disputes where they are responsible for naming a neutral conciliator to review a dispute. Under the club dispute resolution procedures, a named conciliator can be objected to by either party if they feel that the individual is not neutral. Such an objection is reviewed by the district government team in their sole discretion. Under the district and multiple district dispute resolution procedures, the goal of the district governor, the role of the district governor, is merely to receive the complaint and the filing fee on behalf of the district. It is the responsibility of each party to choose their own conciliator, and those two chosen conciliators must agree on a third neutral conciliator chairperson. If they cannot agree on a third neutral conciliator chairperson, the named conciliators are deemed to have administratively resigned, and the parties must select two new conciliators. A club dispute has a smaller filing fee and only one conciliator who is appointed by the district governor. For the multiple district or district disputes, the respondent and complainant each select their own conciliator, and those two conciliators must agree on a third neutral conciliator. There is no opportunity to object to a named conciliator for the district or multiple district disputes. Each party names their own, and those who are named must agree on the third. If no agreement is reached, then those two are administratively resigned, and two new conciliators will be named to choose a third moving forward. Now, we've just covered a lot of information at a very high level. When questions arise regarding a Lions Club, district or multiple districts officers, elections, or overall administrative structure, we should look to the governing documents for guidance. By and large, Lions Clubs are independent and should be able to pick and choose their own projects and functions. Provided that members are able to vote on changes to the governing documents, clubs should be encouraged to adopt a constitution and bylaws which suits the needs of the respective club, always keeping in mind the obligations of a Lions Club as provided in the International Constitution and bylaws. Civil litigation must never be used to resolve Lions issues. The dispute resolution procedures must be followed by all Lions in order to reach an enforceable resolution in club, district, or multiple district disputes. Finally, don't forget that LCI is here to assist you. As a Lion and a staff member, I want you to know that the legal division is here to support you and to answer any questions that you may have. So please do not hesitate to contact us or any other LCI staff if you have any questions on any matters. Thank you.